fancy footwork there, dude.
Oh, I know. Hey, oh, my pedalboard's driving me just bonkers. What is going on,
What's
everybody?
going on, everybody?
Wednesday night. It's feeling good on a Wednesday.
Feeling great on a Wednesday, man. A couple beers, got my boys.
Yeah, exactly. Cheers, Bo.
Cheers.
Thanks for hanging out tonight.
Thanks for having
as
me.
we get beer on the table.
The pedals.
Yeah.
Awesome, great.
Do us a favor, as always. Appreciate it if you smash that like button.
Yep.
And
like, subscribe, share it around.
We're gonna have some good times tonight talking about some gear. First of all, I can't use that volume pot. It has nothing to do with the guitar. It's crazy. I just had my Schecter plugged in. It does the exact same thing. So there's something.
What's that weird noise?
Yeah, as soon as I roll my volume pot off, completely off.
Oh yeah.
Something's happening in my board, but my board is like really messed up.
You have too many pedals, man. You gotta...
No, that is not true. No, there's no such thing, Bo.
Less is more, Derek.
That's
Less
correct.
More
Is more, though. But also,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. But also, how many pedals are on your board?
I think I've got like 12 on there right now. But mine's also like in a weird like state of disarray right now, where only half of them are plugged in.
Yeah, 15.
I keep doing like different gigs where I'm just like using one or two and just like keep dissecting it and making it like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 12 on the board, but I'm not actually sure what's in the chain right now. It might be like half of them.
Yeah, so I have 16 or 17 on my board, but to be fair, I have 2 sets of G series pedals just because they put them on here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and because that's what they put on here for me to try. So, yeah, so I gotta get rid of the old ones for just the anniversary ones. But I need to redo my board altogether. It's
in shambles.
But,
yeah.
I've been talking about the same thing for months, and it's just not happening.
No, I mean, it's like we were going to get to cleaning up the shop, and like it's been a month of talking about it.
So many things I want to get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So how's everybody's week been doing? I had a good time. I was in Nashville last week. I don't know how many of you guys tuned in and saw me with Chris Baseford last week, hanging out, talking about music production and, guitars and all sorts of fun stuff with
Sorry
Chris.
about that.
No, that was me. I just, now I'm going to get like Radler all over the back of my neck of my new guitar. So, yeah, you think the plant is causing the problem? Probably. Do you run a buffer with you? I don't. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I knew how my pedal board was wired. Manny wired it up for me. But I want to say that my pedal board hasn't actually been set up properly once since coming back from NAMM. We just kind of quickly threw a bunch of stuff on it for gear and beer, and then I just make do when I'm playing at church, which I think it's been once this year.
Yeah.
So,
There's some good news though that I heard.
Yeah, I'm going to play this Sunday. It's going to be a good time. I got some new toys, so I was like, I should go use them.
Definitely, yeah. Find any excuse to go play with them.
So, yeah, on my, it's funny, Pierre. You joke that I have 16 and you only use 6. You're completely right. Like that, I use the volume and tuner pedal, but pretty much just as a volume, like as an on-off and to tune. I use the timeline when it's not screwed and the big sky, and then I use like the chat breaker and the tilt boost, and honestly, that's about it for what I'm actually
only using
use.
like 3 things right now, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want to do more. Like, I always think, like, yeah, I'm going to stack more drives.
Oh, yeah.
And then it never ends up happening. So, that's scratchy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've just been going way more simple lately. Just a good overdrive. The reverb, it's always on. Delay sometimes.
Yeah. We got new fancy chairs. They're, like, way more comfortable.
Oh, I know. I love this.
Compared to the stools that you guys used to build on. Which, I mean, those are comfortable, but, like, this is...
It's not this comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
stick these together. This is like a lunch nap right here.
Well, I said like we could push them together and it makes a couch.
Yeah,
like
this is a lunch nap waiting to happen.
So yeah, so I was down in Nashville last week, and I got to pick up a bunch of fun toys. How about you guys? Did you guys pick up anything? What's up, Steve? How's it going? You have to list them all just in case. Or Or you have to have them just in case. Yeah, 100%. And I am the same way when I golf too. I use like 4 clubs.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, so yeah, I was in Nashville, and this guitar was ready for me. This is a Veritas Portlander, built by our good friend Casey Marvin and the fine people over at Veritas Guitars. It is awesome.
It was ready for you, so it was built for you?
Yeah, so I spec'd everything out on this guitar, including the fact that he's like, what do you want for a neck? And I'm like, I want the Wenge neck that's on my Schecter Nick Johnson. And Casey delivered, man. This thing feels a whole lot like my my Nick Johnson. And man, it's awesome. So I love the fact that they do their own body style, right? Like, this is not, it's kind of a cross between a Telly and a Strat, kinda. Kind of.
It's like almost like it's more offset than a Telly, though. It's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've got some actual really nice offsets too. You guys should check them out. VeritasGuitars.com probably.
More heavily.
So yeah, this is one of my favorite finishes actually. Like up back over there that you can't see is, well, you can just catch the edge of it. There is my PRS Tremonti 2,
Tremonti, yeah.
and it's in it's called Contour Burst, so it's kind of like a charcoal-y burst over a flame top, which you can't see any of the top with the lighting we have tonight. Perfect, Luke. It's perfect. It looks black. Oh, there you go. There you can see a bit of it. Oh, look at
good fade
look
out.
at this
Holy.
guy, Luke the Pro.
Wow,
Whoa.
dude. Someone's been practicing.
Yep. So Casey, I spec'd this guitar out like more than a year ago, and they got an amp from us, and he's like, let me build you a guitar in trade for the amp. And I was like, okay, great. So he built me this, and yeah, man, it's pretty rad. So
it looks awesome, man. Yeah.
They're his pickups. They're like his version of like a PAF. So yeah, they. And right now, my signal chain is in my broken-ass pedal board. But we're also testing out a bunch of pedals that I picked up because I went to a bunch of guitar stores and went shopping with Rob Baker, and Tremonti was in Nashville, so the three of us bummed around to a bunch of guitar stores, and yeah, and I went and bought some stuff. It drives me nuts that I undid my shoelace when I moved the guitar.
I noticed that. I wasn't going to say anything, but...
Yeah, so...
There we go.
Yeah. So we're going to kind of mess around with some of the pedals I got, because I got some really cool stuff and some stuff that you guys probably haven't heard.
Yeah. Also, this is a new guitar too, right?
Yep. Yeah, I ended up getting 3 guitars when I was in Nashville.
This thing is so weird.
Yeah, the Gibson Theodore. So a buddy of mine was selling it, and I was like, yeah.
I love it. I think it's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, actually.
I think it's ugly as all get out, man.
It is ugly, but it's my kind of ugly though, dude. This is exactly what I like.
Yeah, it's not a pretty guitar, that's for sure. But it does sound unbelievably good.
It sounds
and it does
great.
Feel
it plays
good.
really good.
What do you guys think of the Theodore? Have you guys checked that out? Like, I know this is like one of Gibson's like attempts at doing something different than, the Firebird, the V, the Les Paul, 335, the SG, stuff like that. Sound-wise, I think it's a home run.
Oh yeah.
Look-wise, it's swinging a big miss for me. Oh, Luke, you were giving it the. Oh, I thought you were giving it the teetering on like maybe. Yeah. What's going on, Basil? Yeah. Speaking of like guitar stores, so I went to 7 or 8 guitar stores while I was down south between Alabama and Nashville, and yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the other Instagram, what do you call it? Like just Instagram account? Call it Instagram page, like the Let's Check Out the Guitar Store thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
yeah, check it out. I am going around to guitar stores, and I've been to 100 of them.
I've been seeing the reels. Is this a different Instagram page? I gotta follow
it's
this
not.
too.
Like some of them get shared onto the Revs page, but. So yeah, so this was one of, well, these are two of the guitars that I picked up while I was down there. But this one's a little more special to me because it was built for me.
Yeah,
it's
that's
got
awesome,
my
man.
specs. Really, really great craftsmanship. Casey did a killer job. I'm very, very happy. So, have you guys heard of Veritas before? You have the new Victory and absolutely love it. New Victory what? And I'm playing through, I started talking about my signal chain. So I'm playing Veritas guitar into a cool pedal that I found at Highland Music in Birmingham, Alabama. I don't know who makes it. Some guy in Birmingham who does like hand wired, like they're point-to-point pedals inside, and they're hand painted. It's called the Green Tangerine. So here's my tone without it, right? Like it's just. Thanks, Joe. So that's it without. So, you know, slightly overdriven tone, and then here it is. I so did not want to buy this pedal when I saw it because.
Oh, why not?
What's that?
Why not?
Because it was green,
Okay, yeah.
and I was like, tube screamer, right?
Too many green pedals, man.
And it's not. It's like the G2 that way, that it's a green pedal that's not a tube screamer, which is awesome. But the when I saw the pedals, he has like a whole range that he had there, and the first one was called the Keef, Keef.
Okay, yeah.
And it had the Rolling Stones like lips and tongue, and it's like 50s tweed style sound,
Okay,
like
nice.
Keith Richards. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then there was the one that first caught my attention was, there was one called the Bitch Slap, where it's like hand painted somebody just getting smacked in the face.
Grabbing it.
But it was a fuzz, and I like sat down and played it, and I was like, damn it, I wish I could play a fuzz pedal to save my life, but I can't. So I passed on that, and I was like, well, I'll try this one. There's one called like Boston, and it's just like
the Boston sound?
Tom Scholz like Rockman thing.
Yeah.
And they all sounded like decent. Just some of them I was like, I'm never gonna use that. And then I plugged this one, and I'm like, well, let me see what this thing is like, you know? And I plugged it in, and I was like, ah, damn it, this thing is awesome.
Yeah, it sounds huge. It sounds super rich.
Yeah. Well, and I don't have it like there's a ton of gain on tap, but like it's not getting like farty. Right?
Yeah, it's fun. I like
And
when
it'll
that breaks up.
like when you pull it back, right, and you hit this fat switch, it gets nice and thick. So yeah, cool pedal. No idea who makes it. It says on the back that it's like, and I got the beer on the bottom of it, so I've ruined the paper on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says, conjuring the tones of the hallowed Marshall heads from the 60s and early 70s. Green Tangerine Drive is the solution for anyone trying to get that unmistakable crunchy drive without spending thousands or lugging around a full half stack or a full stack. Inspired by the classic tones of Marshall amp players from Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix to Eddie Van Halen's brown. It says brown tone, which is, come on, man. It's brown sound. The unique gain structure covers everything from vintage 68 style plexi tones to the all-out massive rock tones of the JTM 45 cranked to 10 or even 11.
Oh.
I mean, I do want to talk to this dude and see if he just wants to help us write copy.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I'm
internet,
like, your
do your thing.
descriptions are awesome.
Yeah, internet, do your thing. Find out who makes this for us, please.
Ronnie wants a Gibson Les Paul Jr., like a TV yellow with P90s. You want TV yellow or yellow? I think yellow over TV yellow for me. TV yellow looks.
I like the TV yellow.
Yeah, it looks like puke.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I like it though. Again, I'm into my gross. I'm into my gross.
I was gonna say, look at the guitars. Oh,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, this came into TV yellow.
I've been way more interested in Les Paul Juniors lately.
Yeah, the juniors are really cool, man. Yeah.
Like, especially the double cutaway junior.
Yeah, double cutaway is the way to go.
And, yeah, but I'm too stubborn to buy one.
go
And
buy
I have
one,
too
yeah.
many guitars. Like,
I've only
right
played
now.
a couple of juniors in my life. Yeah, they're sick little guitars though, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Junior with a P90. That's yeah.
yeah. I gotta find a way to thin the herd a little bit if I'm gonna do something like that.
Well, I'm working some overtime. You let me know if you want to thin the herd.
I'm curious, have any of you guys picked up anything under like Black Friday deals at all? Or is there any cool Black Friday deals? I mean, we have our pedals at 20% off right now, and there will be some amp deals coming closer to the actual Black Friday. But yeah. If you live in 60s era rock, which rev amp? Dynamis, maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure even a generator green channel could like do some things though.
D25?
D25, yeah. Yeah, Dynamis series though, yeah. Probably your best bet.
Yeah. When someone's like you can't smoke in here, I'd rip the most pentatonic solo while not breaking eye contact with them. Nice. Soon fighting babies will rule the earth? What? The babies will have a perfect... Whoa, Damon. Whoa, bud. Nice. Thanks, Pierre. Pierre, when's your birthday? Pierre's turning 80
Oh.
and got a D25 this year and just got an anniversary G3. Awesome.
You'll love the G3, man. Yeah, it's a great. The new anniversary pedals are sick.
Whoop, threw it out. Doesn't work with a floating trim. All right, so let's talk a little bit about that guitar.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell me more about it. I love it.
So it's Gibson Theodore. It's got kind of like the 50s neck, right? Like it's definitely a chunky
Yep.
neck.
It's not like too big though. It's comfy.
And nice. Happy birthday, Pierre. It's got the Explorer headstock, which is cool.
It is cool, right? Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Luke's not into it.
Neither is anybody in the chat apparently. Yeah.
No?
Lots
Well,
of hate for the
The
Theodore.
guitar is ugly. I mean, I do have to say, like, I'm kind of shocked that it's $2,000
Yeah.
US because, like, it has got to be one of the most basic. Like, it looks like a piece of plywood that you cut. I mean, I know it's not plywood, but like it just looks like a fairly, like, just a fairly cheap piece of wood. You know what I mean?
Doesn't look like much.
Like,
yeah.
it looks like you built it in your garage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm quite a bit older than you, but like, you ever remember seeing like guys who actually played guitar in the 70s, like your uncle or somebody, and they'd have a guitar that wasn't a Fender, that wasn't a Gibson.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And you're like, what in the hell is that?
Yeah, just meant to. Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, it's the thing he had in the garage. Like, my uncle had a woodworking shop, and he had like 3 guitars that he had like screwed to the ceiling of his woodworking shop. And I was like, why'd you do that? Like, could have played them. He's like, they're not good.
They're not. Yeah, these are not for playing. Yeah.
They're better up there. And I'm like, why did you screw them to the ceiling? And I was like, that's so weird. So, yeah. So I don't know.
Damon agreed. It looks ugly and cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one, man.
Undeniably ugly as hell, but
Yeah,
it's got some mojo. It's got some spunk.
Yeah, I mean, it plays great and it sounds good,
Plays super
which
good,
is
yeah.
which is good. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the 50s neck, right? Like, so the wide fat neck thing
Yeah.
to me is kind of not my favorite thing. But here, let me check it out. I'll trade you. Oh yeah, it's
yeah,
just like
okay.
instant beef on the neck.
Yeah, this feels so tiny here.
You want a microfiber cloth for that neck?
What's that?
You want a microfiber for that neck?
Why, you think I'm gonna get
No, it's because of who just handled it.
Didn't you
I'm
make
not that gross, Luke.
Didn't you make
Well.
Paul Stanley sick?
I did make Paul Stanley sick.
He did.
Didn't you?
I did almost
Didn't you put him out for the count?
single-handedly ended Kiss.
I have to say I don't like that. Look at that, boys. It's just
like what?
it just wants to do that. Like, look, I let it go.
Reverse
and
SG.
It's just so bottom heavy that it just wants to.
You guys are nuts. I think it's great.
It's kind of crazy how like I didn't change anything, but there's so much less. Like the pickups on here are definitely like way lower output.
Yeah.
And
I can
it's
feel it
like,
right away on this too. It's like pushing a lot more. Yeah.
Like this is way drier sounding, and thus tighter. Like I definitely. I definitely turned my drive up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
To get it to,
way
like-
down here 'cause this is way louder.
It does play really well. So it yeah, like so this was this the one that was Ted McCarty's
Yeah.
like final design kind of thing that never got made?
Yeah, you had a couple that never got like released or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the one that's in red looks cooler, to be honest. Like there's a red version and this is the like natural version.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about a lot of natural finishes.
No,
This
it
one-
looks like a cheap piece of furniture to me when it looks like this.
Yeah, there's something very old school about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. It looks like the shitty dresser that you had as a kid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know?
I still have that dresser.
But
actually, and
that
it's
being
fine.
said, yeah, you're like as a kid, like that's what I have now.
That dresser is still kicking, dude.
But that being said, sounds great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm actually surprised because the neck, while it's beefy, it's not like beefy like the Les Pauls that I have that have 50s necks. Go ahead.
I'm just looking around, just like noticing how much access they have up here.
There's no whammy bar. Oh yeah, dude, I don't like red, and I really hate Fiesta red, but
What's Fiesta Red? Is that like super bright and obnoxious? Like.
No,
No,
it's like the orangey red.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
Campbell's
yeah, yeah.
tomato soup
Yeah,
red.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not my thing.
just terrible.
Kind of like that Bogner back there, actually.
Dude, I tried
I don't hit that Bogner actually.
when we were out, like Rob and I were out with Tremonti, I kept like trying to steer Tremonti towards Fiesta Red guitars because he turned 50 in the last year.
yeah,
and I
okay,
was
yeah.
like, I wonder if I could get him to be like, oh, that's cool. No, nah.
No.
Yeah,
No,
that's the rule.
Yeah.
Is
he was-
that if you're 50.
once
and
you're over
above-
50, I think Fiesta Red becomes your favorite color.
Oh, really?
Like your favorite guitar
Yes.
color.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
That's
the
an
only
interesting
dudes I
theory.
know that are huge Fiesta Red fans.
And they're all okay.
They're all
yeah.
over 50.
That's a very interesting theory. I'm about to put that into practice.
And they're all after the 62 Fiesta Red Strat.
Okay. I haven't noticed this trend, but
I did-
I believe you.
Pick art, yeah, okay, so the pick art on this, I'm gonna say it doesn't need to be there. I don't think it makes the guitar any less
I don't think
ugly.
it'd be less ugly without it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think it'd be totally fine if you got rid of it. Fiesta Red Strats are the best. Yeah, see? Ugh.
BB question that's completely unrelated. How old are you?
How old am I?
No, BB. How
Oh,
old's
yeah.
BB?
Yeah.
Completely unrelated question. Yeah. Just research. R&D.
Yeah. It does play really great. It sounds good.
I love
Yeah.
it. I'm a big fan.
I'm happy with my acquisition.
Yeah.
And potentially Bo's new acquisition in a few weeks
Well,
when I'm not
Or,
happy with
or
it.
Dorian.
We'll
or
talk,
Dorian.
yeah.
Dorian was
I
into
will
it.
fist fight Dorian for that guitar if that's what it comes down to.
Oh man, that would be. I wonder if we could charge money for people to watch Dorian and Bo duke it out.
I was going to say, get a
The-
pay-per-view
It'd
going.
be the worst fight ever. Yeah.
Also, what are you guys drinking tonight? I've got the old Stiegel Radler tonight. Bo's got the
I don't know what
Pilsner.
this
I don't
is.
know
Some
what
kind
you
of
got.
Pilsner.
We are dangerously low on beers
Yeah,
here.
the workbench needs a restock.
I've been away too much, and Luke drank all the PBR, and Sam drank all the Keys. So, that's all I've been buying lately.
I may have had a couple of each as well.
Man, when we started this, we were like, oh yeah, we'll get like a bunch of cool craft beers, and like we'll talk about them. And literally everybody was like, I like PBR, I like Keys. Like
I'll drink craft beers too, but yeah, give me a fridge full of PBR. I'm not gonna complain.
You'll be happy. Yeah. Imagine presenting this in a meeting. Yeah. BB's under 50.
Yeah, that guitar looks like a child drew it.
Yeah, like if
I
I
gave
just
a 6-year-old a pen and said, draw me a guitar, that's what they would.
Right now, if I'm just looking at my hands, I can't see any of this, and I'm like, yeah. And then I look here and I'm like, no.
Yeah, no.
What's up, John? Yeah, I don't know. It's not terrible at all. It plays great. It does sound good. It reminds me of SGs. Like, yeah. I always say that SG stands for shit guitar, and SGs. I still, like, I have one that's good. Like, I have a 92.
Yeah.
I still stand by
I don't
that
like
the
SGs.
majority of them are shit.
Don't get along with them, yeah.
I don't like the neck dive, but I gotta tell you, it ain't much better when it's going the other way. Like, especially when you're sitting and it wants to roll off and smack into other guitars. But, I mean, the most important things on the guitar to me are the neck, like how the neck feels and how it sounds.
Yeah.
And this, shockingly, doesn't feel bad, especially with it being so fat
so
compared
wide,
to, yeah. Yeah. What do you think of that?
It's a completely different guitar than what I was just playing.
Well, yeah, and you're playing through a very different pedal, right? Like,
yeah,
Bo's got the Cornerstone Nero.
Yeah.
Nero,
I think, yeah. This
Nero?
fuzz thing is really cool, man. I like it a lot.
Dude, I love the aesthetic of it with, Luke, can you show the top down? Yeah. You're getting to her? I love I love the little, like, what is it, like little hammers or whatever they are that are lit up in the middle of that? Like, see? Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool, eh?
I mean, in case you didn't know, we like things that light up at Rev.
Oh, yeah, we like lights.
Yeah.
It's got the voice knob here, too.
Nice.
Voice switchy. Can you see that thing changing color? You can't really on the...
Not really, no.
Well, it goes from white to red.
Yeah. Cornerstone makes really great stuff, like the Gladio and the Coliseum? No, Coliseo.
Coliseo.
They're killer pedals. And Emilio from Cornerstone is a really good dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So let's hear that pedal. Oh yeah, it's just fuzzing out a little bit. Now a lot. I find it impossible to not play a riff that has an E as a root and the 5th and the 7th fret on anything that's fuzzy. Like,
yeah.
Like if I made this as fuzzy as possible.
Yeah, that's where fuzz lives, yeah.
I don't know anything else to play. Yeah, very cool. Mike Jeeves asks, do you think Gibson is aware of all the things people hate about their guitars,
yes,
but just can't be bothered to do anything about it? Yeah, you can scroll up right there, Luke. You can highlight it, yeah. So, yeah. I don't know if it's just because of tradition. I think that one of the things that we take for granted as guitar players, especially as like gear nerds, right? Like, because there are millions of guitar players on the planet, but there's not that many of us that are like super like gear nerdy or like gear like infatuated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I would say you're not even really that either. Like,
I get by on the gear I have. I'm always like interested in looking stuff up, but yeah, like I'm not like
but you're not searching it out.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly, yeah.
Like I'm always searching out like what's the next cool new thing, whether I can afford it or not.
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh, what's the like?
Yeah,
what's
I
cool?
used to be a lot more like that, but yeah.
I do that instead of practicing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But so I think what we take for granted is the fact that there's this whole swath of customers that are used to things the way that they are. And like they love this Gibson neck, right? Like, and that's why Gibson has essentially like 2 big neck profiles, right? So like, yeah, I don't know. I do think that there does get a point with a lot of companies where they get so big, and because the way that the dealer network works, some of those big companies, and I mean the really big ones, can legitimately put out things that are pieces of shit. Like that if it had to pass a focus group, there's no fucking way it would get through.
Yeah.
Right? And they'll put something like that out. Because they've just got so many yes men in the company who aren't willing to say like, no, that's not cool, that's not great, right?
Yeah.
Where like that's one of the things that I love about the culture that we have here is that like when Dan brings something to me first, I'll look at it and I'll be like, okay, I like all of the ideas, but the aesthetics, I don't like the knob layout or I don't like this. I'm gonna go talk to Dorian and Dorian's gonna look at it with me because Dorian has the best aesthetic eye here. So we're going to talk about like what could it be and what would it look like, and then we go back to Dan and go like, could we do this instead? And then sonically when it comes in, it goes through like at least 5 or 6 people. And I mean, Dan's pretty good that like there's not a lot of changes that normally end up happening because we also all kind of sit down and talk about like what's the product going to be, what's the target for it.
Yeah, we
like,
kind of know going into it what it's.
yeah,
the
or
end
it's
game.
like Dan stumbled across a sound and is like, here, check this out.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh yeah, that's great. Like, so I do think in bigger companies, you get people that it's like, they become more concerned with getting a product out and to market because it's part of, like marketing and launch cycles. And they have success with some of these products because the dealers have to buy it in order, like with Gibson, right? I'll pick on Gibson for a second. Gibson dealers had to buy these guitars, right? In order to keep selling Les Pauls and SG.
Yeah.
Now, they maybe only had to buy one, right? But they had to buy it. Like, I'm pretty sure, I mean, Gibson could correct me on this, but the way that the vast majority of stocking agreements work with big companies, you have to take whatever they're putting out.
Yeah.
And actually for a while, this is why you also see crazy colors for Gibson. I know a lot of dealers that didn't get a say in what colors of guitars showed up at their place. So like,
Oh, really?
all of a sudden a pink Les Paul, like a transparent, like
Yeah.
flame top pink Les Paul shows up at their door and they're like, I have to sell a pink Les Paul for $4,000.
Yeah, no one, yeah.
Now, there's going to be a customer for that, and thank goodness that Reverb and like the internet exist because the chances of that customer just walking through your door
Yeah,
are
slim
so
to none,
slim
yeah.
now. But like, can you imagine not being able, like we let everybody spec out whatever they want for Tolex on their amp. Can you imagine if we were just like, nah, we're doing this run and you're all getting Western Gold.
Yeah, send out
Like,
40 amps and it's whatever
like,
we want. Yeah.
They're all the Western Gold Paisley. That's it. You don't get another choice.
Oh, please. no.
So yeah, I do think that's my long-winded answer of I do think some of the companies get so big that, and the product does sell, right? Like you put something out, like again, I'll pick on Gibson. Gibson could put something out that's not great, and it's still going to sell, just because it says Gibson.
Yeah.
Marshall's a great indicator, or like a great example of that, because Marshall has put out some amazing amps, and they've put out a lot of stuff that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, it all sells, all of it, one way or another to somebody.
Yeah.
And as long as the dealers and distributors have to stock a certain minimum annual quantity, then whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Totally.
So
I know what you're saying.
I'm curious to see, like, actually, how many of you guys saw the JHS, like Josh essentially abandoned the Ross pedals?
I heard about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you guys that don't know, Ross pedals existed in like the 70s and 80s and went away. My favorite phaser pedal to this day is the that Ross phaser that's sitting right there.
I was actually looking at the JHS, the Ross phaser.
It's awesome.
They're gonna blow them out. So
I bought that phaser. Yeah, $79 I heard.
So I'll be
there we
getting
go. Can you actually?
I'd love to.
Give
Whatever
me that
it is,
guitar.
I would love
And
Say no more. I'd love to do it.
Give me that Ross phaser pedal so we can show
sir.
them. That was also my coy way of getting this guitar back.
You could have just asked, man.
I know, but it was more fun this
Where
way.
is this?
Right in front of your face. Straight in front of your face.
Even
Ross,
I can see
black.
it, man.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. Oh.
You know what you're looking for. He doesn't. So, this is my original Ross phaser. I'll put it down here.
What do you say you hand me that cool Gibson guitar back?
I sure could do that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. That is the quagmire of guitars.
This is the quagmire of guitars.
So,
That's her name.
this is it. This is my Ross phaser pedal. I bought this in the 90s. I can't plug it in right now because it has an 1/8 inch power, and
We don't have one of those?
Can you find one easy? Okay.
Nice.
This phaser, I bought it in the 90s, used, in a Boxing Week sale for $5.
Whoa.
Yeah, it is full of dust.
I can see that.
But it's still to this day my favorite phaser pedal. I sold it actually to one of my guitar students when I wasn't using it. I stupidly went and got, I shouldn't say stupidly because it is a good pedal, but I got the Boss phase shifter. Yep,
Yeah.
that's right. Everybody say hi to Vanna Luke.
Hello.
Hi,
Or Luke White, whatever we want to call you.
Call me whatever.
So, my NJ Telly's right here. I'll pull it out in a few minutes, Mike. I got it for $5, and check it out. You guys can hear what it sounds like. And I use this on, the records that I did. I stupidly had 2 songs that had phasers on it. The only reason I stopped using it, let me go to some high gain stuff.
That's a nasty sounding phaser,
It's
dude.
awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
Holy.
awesome. I don't remember how I used to have it set. Where's the noise gate? It's on the amp. Something's killing it. So yeah. It just sounds like the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's wild sounding.
It's awesome. And so I bought it for $5. And then I saw JHS was resurrecting Ross. And I was like, man, this is awesome because I love this pedal. I know the compressor was highly sought after. The original ones would sell for $700 or $800 US, right? And I was like, that's so great to see. I actually I don't know Josh Scott very well. We've texted back and forth a bunch of times, and I don't even remember if we've actually met in person. But I sent him a message when he released this, and I just said, hey man, just want to say congrats. This is my favorite phaser pedal of all time, and it's awesome to see that you're bringing that brand back.
Yeah.
And then it kind of sucks to see that it
didn't last very
work.
long. Yeah.
But that being said, I bought this for $5.
I want to try
The
this.
current Ross pedals, you want to try it?
I want to try it, yeah.
Yeah, the current Ross pedals are $179. Can I try that? I'll try that fuzz and see if I can make it go.
You might actually like that fuzz. I know you don't like fuzz, but.
I might. So anyway, for those of you that weren't paying attention before, this green Tangerine, no idea who makes it. Some guy, hand-wired.
Again, internet, do your stuff,
In,
find us the builder.
Yeah, in Birmingham, Alabama. Lots of other cool pedals. Highland Music has them. I think it was $150.
Okay, yeah.
So not crazy expensive for especially not for a hand-wired boutique pedal. Oh yeah, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Is your volume down? Yeah.
Sorry, I'll let you finish talking
Yeah.
before I
Anyway,
start making a bunch of
check out those guys if you can figure out who they are that makes this pedal.
Yeah.
But if you're ever in Birmingham, Alabama, go check out Highland Music. They had a lot of really cool shit. They had a 52 Esquire
Oh, nice. Okay.
in there. They also had a 65 Strat and maybe a 63. I think it was a 63 SG.
Okay, yeah. The Esquire.
yeah.
That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah. So the guy who owns it, his name is Don. I think it's Don Murdoch.
Okay.
Really good dude. Yeah, fun place. See what I mean?
I love it, dude.
It's just awesome. I never got one of the new ones. I'll have to buy one when they go on sale on Friday because I'd love to compare it against the old one.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I got rid of it for the Boss phase shifter because the phase shifter had this dumb little thing that had this little micro pitch shift thing that it did.
Okay.
In it that I heard it once. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I was like, I'll never actually use this. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
So, and I sold that to a student, and then, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, the student was like, hey, do you want to buy that pedal back? I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
And I think I sold it to him for $40. He's like, give me $40. And I'm like, yes.
Fucking done deal, dude. Yeah.
So, yeah, starting tomorrow around noon for all of the pedals. I'm going to text Josh Scott right now and say, like, can I get... I don't know if he'll answer me.
That thing is nasty. I love it. Holy.
See what Josh says about me asking to buy a phaser. So, yeah, it's awesome, dude. Luke, do you like it? You probably hate phasers, eh?
Yeah, Luke,
No,
do you
I
like
like
it?
this. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like-
That's wild.
Oh, I like the way it freaks out with the tilt in front of it.
Yeah, cool.
It's pretty cool, eh? Yeah.
Oh, I gotta fix my board. So, yeah, cool. All right, well, let's talk about some other stuff. So I bought a bunch of pedals. How many of you guys have heard of a bunch of these pedals? Luke will show the table here. So I picked up, obviously, the good old Boss SD1 and the DS1. I've had a bunch of friends talking to me about, like, oh, yeah, it's kind of like the SD1, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never owned it. I'm like, I don't know what that's like. And
Tube Screamer.
another one of my buddies was like, oh man, he's like, the Boss DS1, like the original distortion, is awesome. If you could just use like a different mid control on it, it would be killer. And I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm like, I wonder how that would work then with the tilt, and use the tilt EQ to control the mids a little better.
Oh,
right?
yeah, okay.
So yeah, and then I just picked up. So I picked up the Tumnus, which is funny because I have the boxes for 2 Tumnus pedals that apparently I had purchased. That the pedals have grown legs from the shop here, or more than likely are in some sort of box somewhere, kind of like my Line 6 DL4 that magically reappeared in the shop
Oh, did
one
it?
day. It did. Strange how that
Strange,
happened.
yeah.
Yes.
You put it out in the internet often enough, and eventually it makes its way back here. Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, I think somebody just dropped a box here that had a box somewhere, and they probably didn't even know that.
Like
they
an
had
orphan
it.
on a doorstep, just like a box of pedals. Just
No,
yeah.
just one pedal, just my
Okay,
Line
yeah.
6. So I picked up the Tumnus Deluxe, which is like his clone, right?
Yeah.
And
So
then,
what's the deluxe about it? What's
I
guess it's got more controls
Probably
in
with
it.
the fact that it has treble mid bass instead
Yeah, okay.
of just a treble
tone,
control. And there's some sort of switch here. What do we got? Normal or hot? Hot.
Okay.
Feeling hot, hot, hot. And then the Tumnus Germanium.
Oh,
so
nice.
this has germanium diodes and is all fancy pants.
Curious about that.
The toughness into the SD1 is epic. Yeah, interesting. Okay. So, and then the OTB custom boost. I have not played this yet. I'm super excited to try this. This is our good friend Owen Barry, who plays with the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah. Clean boost kind of thing?
Yeah, and he builds his own pedals.
Oh, really?
He builds like a fuzz. He builds this. He does them in limited runs. You can buy them through Vintage King Audio in the States if they have them. Like he'll just be like, okay, I'm off tour. I'm gonna build 20 pedals.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Cool.
And he also builds his own guitars. Also, this pedal is really cool. I picked up the Vemoram Janray, which is awesome. The Nero, the Mjolnir, like this is the newer version of the Joey Landreth Mythos pedal Mjolnir. And then this one.
I was looking at that.
This is a polyample, and I have no idea what this does. I got it with some other pedals, and I'll be honest, I got it from Sean. So I just bought some of the stuff that he was, like he just demoed on his channel. And I believe it's like, essentially like, it says 56 classic amps from the past and present in one. So I think it's kind of meant to be like an amp sim. Made in Australia.
Oh.
So for Mike Jeeves, maybe you know more about that. So, yeah. So let's dig into a few of them. And
Yeah, where do we start?
oh, and I got another guitar while I was there, which I'll pull out in a minute. And I also got the, not while I was down in Nashville, but I got the Schecter Nick Johnson Telly, USA Telly, which is c'est magnifique. So I'll show that off in a little bit. But yeah, I wanted you guys to see this new, like I said, Veritas Portlander, killer guitar, amazing build by Casey Marvin and the guys over at Veritas, and yeah, couldn't be happier with that. So it's got his like PAF style pickups in it, Wenge neck. These are not inexpensive to get him to build you a guitar.
I'm sure they're not.
But I traded him for an amp, so it worked out well for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. There's a model of the the Vemoram. Okay, so it's the Janray in the Quad Cortex. Yeah, that does not surprise me. Hey, what's up, Steven? Yeah, dude, this guitar is awesome. It's got his like PAFs in it.
Which one do you mean? You mean this guitar? It looks so
Oh yeah,
dope.
yeah. Did you mean the one that Bo has, Steve? I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, Steve's. I feel like
Steve's a cool guy.
Yeah, I feel like Steve would be into that Gibson, like a lot. Like I feel like it's right up
I'm
his
hoping so. I
alley.
need some votes for Team Weird over here.
Team Weird. Sleeper pedal, EHX hot wax. Oh, interesting. I don't have, I have a few Electro Harmonix pedals, but not a lot. All right.
I've owned a few Big Muffs in my day, but yeah, not a lot of the EXH stuff for me.
Yeah. All right. What
Where
are
do
we
we
going
wanna
to try
start here?
next? What are you going to try next?
I'm
I don't
kind
know
of curious about the germanium
Yeah.
toughness.
Well, so you want to do, you want to compare the two?
I kind of want to compare the two, though, yeah.
Yeah, all right. How many of you guys have Tumnus? Mr. Tumnus.
Tumnai.
Tumnies. Tumney. What did I do? Oh, the level's all the way down. That sounds good. So here's my tone without it. There's also a weird little.
Yo, what's that button do?
I don't know.
Oh, it's
Oh,
the
it's
nothing.
buffer.
It's the nothing button. Oh, it's a buffer. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, it's got some
That's
kick
got some-
to it,
yeah,
for
it's-
sure.
Is that just because you have it loud?
Is that?
Do you have it past noon?
No, it's like 9 o'clock right now.
Really? Wow, is that ever like,
Let me tune this thing real quick too.
what's that?
So let me tune this thing real quick too. This feels a lot cleaner for sure. Oh, you're also playing into the. You're playing into the green channel. I'm playing into.
Yeah, are you playing into a dead clean channel?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's change that.
I think I'm on green with
Turn down pretty low, I thought.
no aggression, very low. Let's also check out the, this was the other guitar I got, which is a G&L Comanche. It's the first G&L guitar I've owned too. It's got these weird pickups.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about those pickups actually. Okay, that sounds way better.
I bought this guitar without actually playing it. I'll tune it. That sounds great. Luke. Since this is a Klon, could you go get the not a Klon out of my office? Oh no, it's right there. It's up on the top shelf, right up there beside the flint. Hey James, that's my fault. They've been waiting on me to give them some further instructions, and I was hoping to get it all done last week. So if anybody's got a golden ticket, you guys will hear from us for sure before the end of this week. So we're just getting kind of everything organized. Yeah, everything's going to be sent out. So sit tight. You'll hear from us this week. This thing is also has a floating trem right now, and it does not like being tuned to standard. I don't know what it was tuned to before. I honestly did not play
I took
this
some pictures
guitar.
of it before, but never actually played it, so I'm not sure what it was tuned to.
I did not play this guitar before I bought it, so. A friend was selling it and was like, hey, are you interested in this guitar? And I was like, no, not really. I'm like, I've played a couple G&Ls in stores, but never really played them like in any real, like for any real length of time. And then he told me what he was looking to get for it, and I was like, all right, well, I'll buy it for that. Like, it's worth trying for that money. So yeah, so it worked out. I'm kind of surprised at how fat the neck is on this thing. Also, this whammy bar, that's weird. It just like falls out. Does it have a thing that like you're supposed to like pull that up or something?
I don't know. I gave it to Bo and he did it, so who knows?
It just like,
It looks like it just pops in there, yeah.
yeah, but that's not right.
Yeah.
I didn't think that could be right, yeah.
Well,
I didn't break it, I swear.
Maybe that's why my buddy was like, yeah. It feels good. I like the finish on the neck. The neck's really fat
feels
for
really
a
good,
Strat.
yeah.
But Luke likes it. It's not in tune, and that's driving me bonkers. And the whammy bar just fell out again. I feel like this is like the Bluth model home of guitars right now. not quite in tune and stuff just falls apart. Like, shit. Yeah.
This is a U.S. model
Yeah, the Command
from
C.
the old Fullerton.
Is that where it's from?
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
reading the
but-
back of the headstock there.
Man, that's right by where we.
Where we stayed.
Yeah.
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 Maybe we should check it out next time.
Yeah, I don't remember if we're staying there again. Like, we're not staying in that same house again. We're staying in a different house.
We'll be close though. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to go to Tom Anderson and hopefully to James Tyler and properly shoot video, because I shot video last time and like I did not use proper mics and it was loud as shit in there because all the machines are running. And like I brought it back door and he's like, "Nah, this is usable, dude."
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'd say I wasted a day, but I got to hang out with Marcus and Tom and
Yeah.
also Rich. our
Big
good buddy
Rich. If you need a cameraman, let me know.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're going to be with me hanging out after, so
The whole time.
you don't really have a... Yeah, actually there and back. Yeah. These pickups sound good, man. Like, they look
Yeah,
goofy.
what is with those pickups though? Like, what is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Anybody know what's up with the G&L pickups? So that like splits them somehow.
It's we were looking it up. The toggle switch it connects the neck and the bridge pickup to get like a Telly kind of sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What connects it to give it a tuned kind of
It
sound?
just activates the bridge and the neck.
And the
no
neck,
matter
yeah.
what. So they're called Z or Z coil pickups.
Okay.
Let me.
I like
figure
how
out-
you're reading it as we go. So instead of reading it beforehand and then dropping knowledge on us, you're just like,
They're hum free,
okay. Yeah, quiet.
so that's cool.
Anybody in the chat have a G&L? I like how I just got it in tune and then I put the bar in and I'm like,
And
all
just
right.
instantly out, yeah.
No, it's not out, but I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, they're pretty quiet. Yeah, you can hear that. Like that kind of like bridge and
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like in the middle Telly kind of thing, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. Like I said, any of you guys have one of these? I wasn't sure about the finish when I first saw it, but I actually kind of like it under our lights here. It's like a little more like butterscotch.
Yeah.
Yeah, butterscotch or butterscotch. Should we call it the Butters guitar?
Yeah, butterscotch. Leopold.
We'll call it Leopold.
Oh, Leo Fender.
Oh,
Leopold.
Whoa.
Scotch.
Butters, you are grounded.
Badass.
So apart from the fact that I can't keep it in tune right now, sounds
Yeah.
pretty good. And the Tumnus Deluxe sounds really good with it. Like, yeah, I'm done with that. I was gonna take this whammy bar off before it flies off and hits one of the other guitars and dings it. So yeah, cool. Like, yeah, I've played a G&L before, but again, it was like somebody handed it to me and I was like,
Cool, yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And then handed it right back. So, yeah, not bad. Next, a little beefy for me. Yeah. You want to try it?
I do, yeah.
It's not bad.
kind of playing it before a little bit, but.
I do like the pickups, even though they look weird. I do like...
You know, I like weird. Oh, yeah, it's very beefy neck, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Drew? Oh, there you go. Somebody who actually knows riffs.
What's that?
Somebody who actually knows riffs. Life in the fast lane.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that neck. Like, I like the finish on it. It feels like smooth, but it's very big.
Yeah. It's like that. It reminds me of that Telly, like that it's just beefy. Oh, Luke's just giving this. Just loves it. And home sweet home.
Sorry?
And home sweet home. And this is the Schecter Nick Johnson Telly that I got just before I left. USA model. I can't remember what white they called it, but it's
Atomic Snow?
maybe,
I think that's what it's called.
or Arctic white.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's not the standard. And it's not quite like, okay, can you go to the overhead thing? We'll see if it shows up. Like, it's not quite like identical to like the whites are. Like one's kind of a little more yellow. Ooh, hard to see.
Hard to see.
The Strat looks more yellow.
Yeah, the Strat's more
Yeah.
yellow than the. Ooh, I'm gonna break my Strat too.
Oh,
Be
oh,
dumb.
buddy.
Don't be doing that, dummy. Yeah. Don't be stupid. So. I haven't plugged in the Vemaran yet. It is super sick. This guitar is awesome, though. I
Yeah.
think my favorite neck of all time on any guitar is the Nick Johnson Strats, and this is identical to, like, I
the
think
one
it
you got
is
there, yeah.
just the Strat neck, and they put it on the Telly body. Like, I've never been like a
Love it.
big, like, Telly in the neck, or Telly in the neck, humbucker in the neck guy.
Yeah.
But it sounds good. What do you guys think?
Is that dual humbucker?
What's that?
2 humbuckers in this guy?
No, single coil on the bridge, but it's pretty
Oh, okay,
quiet.
yeah.
Must be kind of noise canceling. Well, I don't know. Like, it's pretty quiet. Like, here's the humbucker. Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
there.
it's gotta be.
But it doesn't sound thin. Like, it sounds like a proper bridge pickup.
Yeah.
The McCarty thing makes you angry to look at it.
That's what it is.
Yeah. There it is.
How many viewers did we just lose?
Man, hot take. I'd love to know what you guys think, but hot take. I'm not a huge Clapton fan, dude.
I don't think it's a very hot take. I'm not a huge Clapton guy either. I used to be.
Yeah, I did. I started out that way too.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking back of, did I ever actually listen to any of his music? And I didn't. I think he was just pushed to us as like
As the
this
guitar
English
guy?
guitar god.
Yeah.
And then later in life, I was like, what? Why?
I don't want to shit on him too much. Like, he's got some good music for sure, but yeah, I'm not a huge, like, not a huge Clapton guy.
But like his best song isn't even his song.
That one?
Yeah, Layla. It's
Yeah.
Derek and the
Derek and
Dominoes.
the Dominoes.
Yeah. Well, that was him and one of the Almonds. Dwayne Allman.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a super group basically. It was like him and
Which was like Layla?
Derek and the Dominoes was Eric Clapton and Dwayne Allman.
Eric Clapton was in Derek and the Dominoes?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he played on the original.
Okay, I thought it was somebody else's song.
It was him
I'm
and
like,
the.
No, he played on the original, and I think he wasn't he something like
Freddie
16
King?
or something like that?
Freddie King is awesome. You ever listen to Freddie King?
I know of Freddie King. I'm not like super familiar with Freddie though. Yeah.
We're going down. Yeah, so good. All right, well, there you go. I've spent 30 years as a guitar player thinking that Eric Clapton stole that song. So I would just like to note to everybody that I am the asshole. I'm the ignorant prick that doesn't know. So, yeah. All right. Okay, let's.
Favorite Clapton stuff. Cream. Yeah, the Cream stuff was good.
None of the Allman Brothers were in Derek and the Dominoes, by the way.
Oh, I thought for sure.
No,
it was...
somebody said it's Freddie King.
Oh, okay.
I don't see Freddie King either. I see Eric Clapton, I see Jim Gordon, I see Bobby Whitlock, I see Dave Mason, and Carl Rattle. Rattle? I don't know.
Okay, well, I don't know what I'm talking about apparently.
Oh, Dwayne Allman, past members. Ooh, baby.
Told you. I do know what I'm talking about. I
Eric
take it all
Clapton.
back. I do know what I'm talking about.
Eric Clapton wrote Layla about George Harrison's wife, who he stole.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably why I don't like Clapton.
Among other reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stole George Harrison's wife, and then George Harrison played at their wedding.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
I know.
Remind me to tell you my Clapton joke later. Let me tune up this Novo. This Novo is in desperate need of new strings. I think we've spent half of this stream tuning.
Just tuning.
Yeah. We just watched the viewer count like drop like flies as we pull out new guitars. They're like, oh, that's enough of this.
Every single Opus clip is going to be you guys tuning.
How many of you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel? And how many of you have seen any of the Guitar Store videos?
Yeah, Shane knows what's up.
How many of you guys have seen any of the Guitar Store videos that we've been doing? Checking out guitar stores. What's up, Robbie?
What's up, Robbie? Funny story, I wore my Novo shirt today because I got some bad intel from Luke.
Hey,
I thought,
hey,
Oh, yeah,
whoa,
no, he didn't have bad intel.
I thought today was going to be Novo Day, yeah.
It wasn't. That wasn't bad intel at all. It was supposed to be Novo Day, and it wasn't supposed to be you. It was supposed to be Joey Landreth and I.
Oh,
and Joey had to go
better.
to the City
Joey
of
is better than me.
Angels.
Sorry?
Joey had to go to the City of Angels.
Oh,
For
You know what that
quick
means,
stop.
Bo?
Los Angeles?
Yeah,
Angeles.
good job, buddy.
Thank you. I hesitated for a moment, actually.
Somebody doesn't listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers.
You can't fault him for that. So that's mean. I actually like a lot of Chili Pepper stuff.
I used to love the Chili Peppers. Yeah, I don't listen to them a lot anymore.
Dude, one of the best live sounds I think I've ever heard, and like definitely one of the best energy, like the best energy that I felt from a band off stage. Okay, top was Rage Against the Machine, hands down.
Oh, man,
It was
I'd
the
love to see
absolute
Rage.
best for that. But second, man, I'd have to give it to when Chili Peppers started playing. I think it was the start of Give It Away Now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, it was unbelievable.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Don't
Yeah.
they do like a jam before?
Yes,
Probably,
and it
yeah.
was unbelievable. And I saw them with Frusciante. Like,
Yeah.
so good. That guy is criminally underrated I mean, I know he's well respected, but criminally underrated as a guitar player because
Yeah.
live, like, him and a Marshall.
This was a while ago too, right? Like this
Yeah.
was like
Chris Bennett, Farouche's top 5. Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So good. So, yeah, you didn't have bad intel. Next week, I'll be here with Joey Landreth talking about Novos.
cool. Joey's here. I'll hang around.
Yeah, and he's got
I'll hang around.
$20,000 US for John Frusciante's signature.
Yes.
Whoa.
No dice. It's a Strat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably a really nice Strat, but it's a Strat. 20 grand.
20 grand's a lot of money though.
Man,
dude.
that brings up something that, thanks for saying that, Mike. What do you guys feel like, okay, like, I got a few new guitars this week. To me, nice guitars are worth like $2,000 to $3,000. Is like, this is a high-end guitar.
Yeah.
Right? Guitar prices now are $4,000 to $5,000 for nice guitars. And like, I want to know what you guys think. Like, what's your like number that you feel like something is worth? So, Bo.
I mean, I don't have money, so it's
Yeah, well, that's even better because most guitar players don't.
Yeah, like most of mine cost like between like $1,000 and $1,500. Like budget guitars for sure. Yeah, I would say like my price. Like I would like to think that a good guitar is like $2,000 to $3,000.
You like this guitar.
I love that guitar.
How much do you think this guitar should be worth? This is completely subjective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm curious what an actual guitar player that plays would say. Like, okay,
Yeah,
you would sell half your collection of shit.
Yeah, I would guess around $3,000 for this thing. Yeah.
If this were $5,000, would you be like, mm-mm?
Yeah, because I can't justify spending $5,000 on anything.
Yeah, to me, in U.S. or Canadian dollars, whatever. Like right now, the Canadian dollar is worth nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
So, to me, I still look at, and Luke can probably vouch a little bit for this because he's trying to find a new car right now. $5,000 is what you spend on like one of your first cars.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. If with $5,000, it's like if I had the money to throw at a guitar, I would love to do that, get a $5,000 guitar. But with that kind of money, guitars are not what I'm looking at.
I get nervous. Like I have a lot of really nice guitars, and like the most expensive guitar I've ever bought was $5,000.
Yeah.
And that's I bought it because it was highly collectible, and it was my dream guitar growing up. So I bought one of the Eddie Van Halen Ernie Ball Music Man guitars, which Luke absolutely hates.
I know he does.
But
Yeah.
I spent $5,000 on it, and at the time you could buy or I shouldn't say you could buy them. They were selling on Reverb at the time for like $8.5 to $9, and a friend of mine offered it to me for $5, and I was like, "Yep, I'm taking it before he changes his mind." But even that, to me, I was like, "This is so much money. Like this is insane."
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Ludicrous.
Is that Robbie that said the most expensive guitar is like 4.5, but absolute max is 6? Okay. Interesting. Drew, 3,500 on a top. If it's not vintage, nothing should be more than 3,500. Drew's Toyota is worth 6. Yeah, man. Like this is. My most expensive guitar was $700, and that was in 2011 and 2012.
Smart man.
3K USD is max. Yeah, like I feel like that's the sweet spot for me too. Is that like at $3,000 I can justify it, but man,
I wouldn't say it's a sweet spot for me. I don't have $3,000 to throw at a guitar, but yeah, anything more than that just seems absurd.
4,000 to 5,000 on a custom shop if it's kind of new, like less than 3 years old and in brand new condition. Yeah, I'll be honest. The custom shop, like quote unquote custom shop, right? Like so Gibson custom shop, Fender custom shop guitars that I've played. I've honestly liked all of my stock, like standard model guitars. Like the R9, I don't know where the R9 went.
It's in a case right now.
Okay, the R9 is considered Gibson custom shop. And the 91s that we have that I bought for, $2,100 to $2,400, honestly, I think blow the R9 out of the water. And the R9 is like new as like 7,000 US or 6,500 US or
dude,
something.
yeah.
I didn't pay that for it. I got a really good deal on it. So, $5K if it was something special. What would you consider
Yeah, what's
something
special?
special? And I actually got a question for you on this too. This is for the chat and for Bocephus. So, would you rather get like a nice high-end like guitar, like a boutique guitar, like a Novo, or something that is not necessarily a well-known brand, or would you rather get a high-end Gibson, Fender, Paul Reed Smith, insert ESP?
I'm more into like the boutique-y kind of like
So you wouldn't be as concerned about the resale value on it, because like the more you get into boutique guitars, like Novos have a good resale value, but there's a lot of the stuff like the Veritas. The resale value on the Veritas is still pretty high.
Yeah.
But that's you're narrowing the market.
Yeah, it's a niche market.
I'm not too worried about that. I'm horrible at letting go of gear.
Well,
once it's mine, it's mine, and like I wouldn't be worried about.
So
resale.
you don't think about resale value when you buy it?
Almost not at all.
That's interesting.
You also have a boutique guitar that's not well known either.
Oh yeah, your Telly.
Telly,
yeah, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I love that guitar.
Poo Ninja likes the small custom builders. Yeah, I have guitars from both, right? Actually from like everything but the ultra high end. I don't have any of the like ultra high end.
Yeah.
Unless you consider Tom Anderson ultra high end, but I don't. Like I consider like Nick Huber and like
Collings.
Yeah,
Actually,
Collings I would say is still kind of in the mainstream, right?
Is it JWB? Is that the one? Or what's the one that?
Josh Williams.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
I don't even know some of these. We're talking like
Josh Williams is like ES 335s for like $7,500.
Oh, okay.
Out of California.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Tyler's.
Tyler's, yeah, they're like 75. Yeah, you have gone 5K for an Anderson after the recent episode, but found one on Peach, I think, for 9K.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. Like the Anderson, the blue, the Angel that we were playing, I think the sticker on it is like 54 or 55. 52, somewhere around there. Like,
which one is that? That's
the Tom Anderson Blue Angel. Like it's an Angel, but it's the Super Strat that Sam was playing. I mean, I played it a little bit, but mainly Sam took it because I like the Tom Anderson stuff a lot. I think they're Sam's favorite guitars on the planet. It's like I should say it's kind of a toss up for him between that and Aristides, right? Like for the non-modern metal thing, he plays his Anderson Raven like nonstop. So. I'm always curious about that because like there was this builder. We went to this shop last week in Nashville called Modman Guitars, and I'd never heard of it. I was going for lunch with Mark and Rob Baker and one of Mark's buddies, and we went to this restaurant that I'd never been to, and we walked in and Mark was like, I don't know, like he's like, I'm not really like big on the menu, which he's not a picky eater or anything, but he was just like, let's try something else. And I walked outside and I was like, there's a guitar store at the end of the block. And we ended up going to it. Like first we went for lunch, and as we drive by, I look in the window, I'm like, there's Bogner Ecstasy in the window. So there's going to be cool shit.
We have to go.
But this dude that runs Modman, I can't remember his name. I think if Rob Baker was here, he'd be able to tell me. I want to say his name was Randy. That could be wrong. Anyway, you can check it out if you check out Let's Check Out the Guitar Store Instagram. You can see one of the Strats that he built. I did like a little quick 1 minute video to show what he built. Anyway, I asked him how much his guitars were, and they ranged, but like for a custom built Strat, it was like $2,500 to $4,000.
Yeah.
And like $39.99, I was like, ooh, like that's getting up there to like Anderson territory. It's a really nice guitar, like really nice. Mark ended up buying like one of them.
Yeah.
And they were really great, but it got me thinking that I was like, man, to me, like the parts caster thing, right? Because that's what they all are, right? Like
essentially, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, this. To me, those guitars have always been around like $1,500 to $2,500.
Yeah.
Like the Sir Classic Antique is, $2,500 guitar. But I realized that like everything's gone up in price, so people have been kind of, raising their rates, and I'm like, holy geez, like is this what a Strat is now worth? Is $4,000? And like, this is crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope it's not the case. I can't afford $4,000 for a new
I
guitar.
won't be for long. Do I know how much Jag charges for his guitars? I don't. I have talked to him about building me one of his guitars before, though, and I just forgot to follow up with him.
I'm so uneducated.
But
Who's Jag Tana?
I'm Mother Earth's guitar player.
Oh,
Jag builds his own guitars.
Nice.
They are like, I'd call it a parts caster, but he actually specs out his own necks. He's got somebody who CNCs his necks and bodies, so they are different than.
Yeah, it's not just buying like.
Yeah, it's not like a Mighty Mouse or a Mighty Mite neck or a Warmoth.
Yeah.
Like build. So yeah, like. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing because like in the electronic side, in the amplifier side, nothing really goes up without there being a massive problem in the market, right?
Yeah.
Like you look at like Mesa Boogie went up in price, and Marshall tried going up in price, and the market just got so mad, even though honestly the rectifier was the same price for literally 20 plus years, or like right around 20 years, and then it shot up because, well, naturally, all of your costs as a manufacturer they go up over the span of 20 years, like a lot.
Of course, yeah.
And the market was just like, nah.
Yeah, we're not having any of that. Yeah.
No, exactly. Like the Ross pedals, I don't know how much they were back in the 70s, but if they're $50 back in the 70s, right? 179 now is not unreasonable.
Not crazy, yeah.
I mean, in the 70s,
even just the pedal market, and that's not a crazy amount of money to spend on a guitar pedal right now, like 170, 180 bucks.
No. My 2021 Gibson Junior TV Yellow Double Cut for 3,800 Canadian.
Oh, yes.
Was okay. 60 Fender Strap custom shop, reissue built, paid 8,300 before February 24th. For 5,500. Oh, okay, yeah, the guy paid 8,300, you gave him 55. The guy just got divorced. Yeah, like that to me, I mean, it's crazy money for stuff.
Dude, yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I know I'm fortunate to be on this side of the industry where we have a lot of friends that work at these companies, and they often want to trade for stuff. So, I mean, I got this Novo because I own a company that prints T-shirts, and Novo needed a bunch of T-shirts. And they were like, "Can we build you a guitar and you give us some shirts?" I'm like, "Yeah,
definitely, yeah,
sure." Like,
I can make shirts too, guys.
Bow with a Sharpie.
I can make some sick merch, dude.
Only white. You can only do plain white tees.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
With black Sharpie. Don't wash them. Nice.
It's not Sharpie, it's just the aesthetic. It looks like Sharpie, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I'm printing them.
It's punk chic, dude.
Punk chic. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have guitars from like all, like, that span it all, right? Like mass-produced stuff through like custom one-off builds like the EB Roosters or like the John Mark stuff. I don't think he builds very many of those. I mean, it is a standard model for him. But yeah, like I've got 3 EB Roosters that are complete custom builds for me. And, they're reasonable price. Like they're like $2,200, like not bad at all. Killer guitars
that's
for the money.
Super reasonable, yeah.
And Dan Blom is a really close friend who has like, is actually somebody who's doing like actual good work in our industry. Like if you guys don't know the story of Blom Guitars, Dan's son ended up getting addicted to drugs and was in and out of jail. Was a good kid, like didn't have any problems, but just I think I don't want to step out of or like speak out of turn, but I feel like he got addicted to something through like medical. Like through prescription meds first, and then ended up eventually addicted to, I think, heroin. In and out of jail, and then Dan was always like a setup and repair guy at like Groon Guitars in Nashville, like rebuilt old Martins, and he he started EB Rooster Guitars with his son when his son got clean and came out of rehab. As something for the two of them to do and to like kind of keep his son out of trouble. And his son relapsed and ended up overdosing and passing away. So Dan and his wife Cindy kept the guitar company going, And now 10% of all of the proceeds from every guitar they sell goes to addictions foundations.
Damn,
and
I like that.
they try to sell one guitar every month that 100% of the proceeds, not the profit. So like if it sells for $2,000, all $2,000 goes
That's
to
huge. I love
like
that.
an addictions foundation. And they're killer guitars for one, but two, like just great people that just have a shit story and like dealt a shit hand. And are trying to do something good with it. So
I love that, yeah.
So I have guitars from them, and like this John Mark, you know, great guitar.
The one in the middle there is a John Mark?
Yep.
Yeah.
But like those guitars, they're not worth anything to resell. Like the EB Rooster, if I sold it in Nashville, I'll get like a decent amount of money because he's known there. But if I just put it on Reverb,
People have no idea what it is.
I'm getting $600 out of a $2,200
They're great
guitar.
guitars, too. I love the Roosters that you have here, yeah.
Yeah.
That blue Telly lives in the test room now.
Oh yeah,
That's a Bluesman.
That one.
That's a Bluesman, yeah.
The Bluesman. That guitar will never go anywhere else.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be living in there. We should have a crappier guitar in there.
So we do have a crappy guitar in there, too.
No, I know, but a crappier one than the Bluesman. I know you have the.
Yeah, I didn't mean the
Road Flare
Bluesman was
Red.
crappy. I meant the other one.
Yeah.
I might have brought that up.
Let's see. Sorry. Scroll up there. So Mr. JWJ71 says. This friend of mine says, you can go to a guitar shop and pick up a $1,000 guitar and it will feel like a $1,000 guitar, but you can pick up a $200 guitar and it doesn't necessarily feel like $800, right? I don't quite follow exactly what that meant, but I think what you're saying is like you can have a $200 guitar feel like an $800 guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I've played 5,000. Well, okay, best story I have about that. Have you ever played a custom shop Strat? Like a real custom shop?
I can't say that I have.
Okay. So so there's different levels to the custom shop too, right? Like custom shop and then there's master builds.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I played a 15,000 euro master build Strat at Thomann 1 year. It was one of the worst guitars I've ever played.
Yeah.
It was horrible. $15,000 master build. Played like shit. The neck had like a ton of lacquer on it, so your hand just stuck the whole
I hate
time.
that, yeah.
And the reason it was 15,000 was because of, I won't out who the Fender master builder was, but it was the guy is one of the big master builders, and he was at this event. And it was one of those like paisley, like metallic paisley finishes in a Strat. And I was like, okay, I get that the finish is like really, really like cool, and like some people really love that. I don't love paisley finishes on guitars. But I'm like, I get why it's that kind of money for that. But the thing should play like the best guitar you've ever touched.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point. Like, it should, like, yeah.
Shane, you can throw a baseball at a wheel of cheese all day, but that don't get you rhubarb pie.
Great quote.
That sounds like Robert Baker. Like 100% like something Rob would say. So yeah, I take into consideration when I buy stuff, I always take into consideration the resale value. I, as you know, rarely sell anything.
Yeah, oh, I know this, yeah.
But I'm always like, it has to be, like I have to feel like I got good bang for the buck and that I've made an investment in something that if I got to get my investment back out, I'm going to get it back out.
I get that, yeah.
I've completely written that off whenever I've gotten like the John Mark, EB Rooster, stuff like that. I'm like, this money, whatever it is that they give it to me for, I will never get that money back.
Yeah.
Same with Bluesman. I mean, like, yeah, Bluesmans were selling for like $2,000. And like,
you just gotta like treat yourself to like the thing you want, though.
Yeah, and that is cool. I mean, I have a lot that's really nice now.
Yeah.
So it is also harder for me to find something that I'm like, oh, that's really great, and then I'm going to get excited and be like, I need to get that.
Yeah, I got you.
Right? Actually, what's your guys like? Well, you first. What's your dream guitar? Like, what if you had all the money right now? Like, didn't matter. Like, you could burn like 5-10 G's on a guitar tomorrow, and it would make no difference. Like, it wouldn't hurt you at all.
I mean, I'm definitely looking at Novos right now.
Yeah.
They're high on my list. I just love the body.
Which one? Like the Ceres, or
because I'm not like actually in the market for a new guitar right now, I haven't been looking that closely. But something along this lines is like what I'm looking for. I love the P90s. I love like the shape of it. this guitar specifically, like, I just love the feel of it too. I love the finish on it, like the wood grain, like, yeah.
Yeah, I think,
honestly,
are they pine bodies?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Isn't that called sandblasted? When it's got the like grain?
Yeah, it might be.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, no, I feel pretty on the spot right now. I'm not sure what my dream guitar would be, but this, yeah, something like this is definitely like, yeah, high on my list.
That's how you tell the difference between a guitar player and like a gear guy. Because I'm a gear guy and Bo's a guitar player. Like Bo actually goes out and plays in bands, and like I will have guitars, you know, in my head that I'm like, oh man, if I could get that, I want to get that, right? Like a little less so now because I've gotten a bunch of them, but yeah, I find that's the same with like most actual players. They're like, oh yeah, no, you know, okay.
Yeah, there's lots of things I would want, but yeah, I'm not like, yeah, you said it before too. Like I'm not like out there like chasing down the gear anymore. Yeah. So it's
Is there any piece of gear that you really wanted that you don't have? Like pedal, amp? Anything?
Yeah, I think amp-wise, I want like a Dumble style kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the Amplified Nation, you know.
Yep.
I want one of their amps really bad. Yeah, big, bold, like aggressive Dumble style things, like the two.
What about the Dumble thing? Do you think you?
I don't actually know if I would even get along with it. Having seen enough people like play Dumbles and stuff in videos now, it feels like, yeah, I'm not sure if I got the hands to pull off that kind of thing. But I just want to experience it. It's just like, it's the thing, right? So like.
Yeah. What do you think it is like?
Like loud and fast. Very like dynamic, like responsive.
Okay.
Very unforgiving, as what I keep hearing too.
Yep. So do you like stiff amps?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like just like a clean, like a platform, just like.
No, I mean stiff, right? Like the G20s and that are good, like pedal platforms,
saggy,
but they sag.
Yeah.
Well, but they're tight, right? Like there's like this saturation to them.
Yeah.
That you can a little bit hide in.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, they kind of squish nicely. Yeah.
Yeah. You like that?
Again, yeah. I don't know. I've never played anything quite like that before, so I'm not even sure if I would like it. But
yeah.
That's just like in my head. That's the amp that I kind of keep like coming back to. Like, yeah. The Amp Nation amps for sure I check out like a lot.
Yeah, the Amplified Nation stuff.
I love the aesthetic of them.
Yeah,
like,
they look just like Dumbles.
They look just like Dumbles, yeah.
Yeah.
The carpety like Tolex is like great, yeah.
Yeah, suede, like, yeah. Yeah, I always find it interesting when like, because it is so many guitar players like Holy Grail, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that everybody's like,
but it's the thing, it's like someone like me, like it's a Holy Grail amp having never even played one before. So like I have no idea what to get myself into. It's just you hear about these things and like, yeah, the legend just like lives in your mind. It's like, I need one. I need to try this, yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not that I'm ready to disappoint his Dumble dream, okay? Because
I'm a realist, dude. I think I know what I'm getting myself into here, yeah.
I've played 5 of them now. 4 overdrive specials and 1 just overdrive deluxe, I think it was called.
Yeah.
None of them were the same.
Yeah. That's the other thing you hear, right? They're all different, or yeah.
Yeah, but like it's not just that they're like a little bit different. Like, cause I know, you know, the story is that Alexander or Howard, whatever you call him, Dumble, would, if you wanted to buy an amp, he would have you come over to his place. He'd listen to you play for 4 hours.
And he'd build to
your, like to how you play. Yeah, I'm sure that happened.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is why there are some of them that are so incredibly stiff that they are virtually impossible to play and don't sound great. And then there are others that have like this bloom and sag to them that are like the best thing you've ever played. And like they're all the same model.
Yeah.
But like I don't get like what you would sit down with a player and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make this thing super fast and immediate so that like it feels borderline horrible to play. Like the one that's at Blackbird in Nashville, it is just a piece of shit. Like Mark and I were talking about it last week because he was trying to buy another Dumble, and it was the guy sold it out from underneath him, and he was all pissed off about it. I shouldn't say he's pissed off. He was actually kind of sad. But he bought Blackbird had 2 of them, and Mark bought one of the 2.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Mark's like, oh, that was one of the first ones I bought. The thing was a piece of shit, man. Like, it sucked. I mean, there's still like, I don't know how much he paid for it back then, like, but it was probably still $70,000 or something ridiculous. Now they're all $200,000 or more. Yeah. So, rumor has it that Dumble did he sleep with his cat before he'd consider building you an amp. I know there's some people like Tremonti was like, I asked him, like, man, like, why did you never get Dumble to build you one?
Yeah.
Like, he always bought his secondhand, and he was just like, man, you know, what am I? I'm going to call him like the guitar player from Creed and be like, can you build me a Dumble? I'm like, yeah, like, 100%. That's
you're the kind of person that can do that.
I'm like, you're in a massive band, and yes, it's a mainstream like rock band. I'm like, but who cares, man?
Yeah.
Also, Mark can play, like, Mark is a phenomenal guitarist.
Oh yeah.
So, well, yeah, and like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But Dumble's restarting, eh?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this guy named Drew Berlin that owns.
I was gonna say who's doing it. Yeah.
So Drew was like connected to Dumble somehow. I don't know the whole backstory, but from what I've heard, he's kind of the like caretaker of the Dumble brand, and maybe I don't know about estate, but like definitely the Dumble brand.
Huh.
And there's a guy that apparently he trusts to repair any of them.
Yeah.
That come back, or any that are out in the wild that he hears about, because he deals in like, he sells like 59 bursts and like crazy shit. So anyway, apparently they're going to be building Dumbles
really
again. So be interesting to see what happens with the.
Yeah, keep your eyes open for that.
Yeah. You wonder who the player was that made him make an amp that stiff. It was made for John McBride. From like Martina McBride.
Okay, yeah.
So John is Martina's husband, and they own Blackbird Studios in Nashville together. So, but they were made for John.
Oh, okay, nice.
And I'm like, I can't imagine him wanting them that stiff. And like most guys I know that have played the one at Blackbird aren't a big fan. So, but there are some that are amazing.
There's got to be something to them, right? They're worth $200,000, so.
Well, I mean, it's like anything, right? That like, you just hit on the collectability of it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Drew Berlin, the ex-Guitar Center Burst brother. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, why is a Klon worth, you know, 5 to 10 grand when the not a Klon, honestly, like, you can compare this against the real Klons that I have here, and like, it's almost all the way there. It's like it's just slightly behind it, but also no 2 Klons are the same. Like I've taken mine down when I've gone to go play Mark's Dumbles. I brought my Klon down to or both of mine with me for him to try, because he's got, I think he just has a silver one, and my silver one and his silver one
completely different.
Yeah, very different. And I can get the same sounds out of mine that he gets out of his, but mine has more gain on tap, like significantly more saturation.
Yeah.
And I actually found it easier to get my gold one to sound like his silver one than to get my silver one to sound like his. And we could not get his silver one to sound like mine at all.
Interesting.
Like it couldn't do where, like, I like to set my Klon as like a high gain thing and like have quite a bit of gain and saturation on it. Yeah, his can't do that. So yeah, it's interesting. I also find it really weird that like the top brands in our industry, like the most sought after brands, are brands that have a reputation of never building things consistently. Like Dumbles are all inconsistent. Klons, like the real Klons, are inconsistent. So the most sought after things are these things that have like, not, I don't want to say imperfections, but they're not.
Well, yeah, it
repeated.
kind of adds to the charm of them a little bit though too, right? It's like.
Yeah, but I mean, if you built a Gen 120, like you built 2 Gen 120s the other day, right?
Yeah.
If those 2 amps did not sound the same,
that's a problem. Yeah.
One of them would come back to us.
Yeah.
Like almost guaranteed.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. And it's the most expensive and most sought after stuff. And Gibson, in guitars, gets away with it almost the same way that no two Gibson necks feel the same. They're still the biggest brand out of, like, I would say out of the mainstream brands, they are the biggest.
Yeah.
And no one gets upset about the fact that two Les Pauls that cost $4,000 don't feel the same. And one of them might not even stay in tune. Well, both of them probably won't stay in tune. Yeah. But, like, that's totally fine. It's almost like you say, it's almost like it adds to the charm. But anyway.
Yeah, when something's hand-built and it's like everything's kind of one of a kind because there's always going to be little differences. Like, I don't know, it's like, yeah, it's like hard to, like, gauge, like, what it's actually worth if everything's going to be, like, not the same. It's like, what is, like, yeah. But, yeah, that's the charm. It adds to, like, the mystique of, like, this hand-built thing. It's like...
Yeah, I mean, that ends up being the story behind it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's, it's weird to think about from my perspective because, like, I'm always like, whatever we build here has to sound exactly the same here
as it does
in Europe, as it does in the UK, as it does in Australia, or in China, Japan, wherever, right? So, yeah. Why don't Fender make better amps given their purchasing power?
I think Fender's making some pretty good amps, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? Like, what don't you like about Fender amps? I know what I don't like about Fender amps. And to be honest, I like out of all of the big mainstream brands, Fender is one of my favorite.
I love Fenders. Yeah.
I will say that, like, I don't love the mid-range on it. Like, I feel like a lot of American voiced amps.
Well, there is no mid-range on it.
There is no mid-range, and then British voiced amps have all mid-range.
All mid, yeah.
Right. So.
But yeah, I'm a big pedal guy. I'm sure I said it like 1,000 times on here. Like, I'm a big pedal platform player, and for me, like the Fenders, it's like just loud and super clean, and like I can make up for that mid range with like overdrive pedals and stuff. So, like,
well, Fenders feel good because they've got really good bottom end, right?
Yeah.
So your Fender is going to take pedals well, partially because of that.
Yeah,
it's also not going to be really stiff.
Yeah.
So they're easy to play, but I feel like the deluxe reverb or like the Hot Rod series, right?
Man, Hot Rods always surprise me. I want to hate them, but they're so good actually.
Well, their drive sounds are terrible.
Yeah, but you just like
that should say instead of drive and more drive, it should say shit and more shit.
But I always like the drive thing on like most. Yeah, it's like it's not my thing.
No.
But the clean side of like a Hot Rod though is a great pedal platform amp.
Yeah, I mean it's very
just loud and
it's very similar to a deluxe reverb without the reverb, like without the. It's a little more stiff than deluxe reverb. You don't mean bad. You're wondering why they're not better, like more boutique. Oh, because they build 600 of them a day.
Because they don't have to be.
And they build 600 of them a day. So like I went through this with. Long before Rev, my two like main amps that I would play rectifiers with a 4x12 for high gain tones, and kind of crunch tones, and then for clean tones, Hot Rod DeVilles, 410 Hot Rod DeVilles were my favorite. And there was this guy in Winnipeg that would mod your 410 DeVille to make the drive sounds actually good and usable, and he essentially just recapped it, changed a couple of other components, and $75 out the door. And I remember getting him to do mine because I was like, man, my amp, I would always buy them used, so they were like, well, back then you could buy them for like $300.
Yeah.
In the like early 2000s.
Even now, the market for like a used DeVille isn't that much, is it?
I want to say it's like 8 at least Canadian.
Okay. It's been a while since I've looked, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean a new one's got to be like $1,600, like $1,500 somewhere around there. Because I think a deluxe reverb's at least like $1,500 now.
Yeah, 16 somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Eric? So I got it recapped, right, or whatever the mods this guy did. I never asked him. I got it back and I plugged it in, and the drive channel sounded like a Marshall.
Oh, really?
Right? Which makes sense because like the Bassman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is awesome. So then I went and I had bought my brother DeVille, and I was like, hey, I'm like, let's get yours modded. So I ended up getting his and one of my other buddies modded. And then I was up at Dauphin Country Fest, and I was working just as a stagehand and working in backline. And I went to the guy who owns the backline company. Said, hey, I'm like, there's this guy in Winnipeg that for $75 for each of these, he'll fix it so the drive channel's not shit. I'm like, it sounds amazing. I'm like, you should get him to mod all your backline. And he's just like, I will never do that. And I was like, what? Why? And Luke's laughing because he knows the guy I'm talking about, right? He's like, I will never do that. I'm like, why wouldn't you do that? I'm like, it sounds amazing. He's like, because every player who shows up here that has spec'd a DeVille or like a hot rod, period, like Deluxe or DeVille, that has spec'd one on their rider, knows what a DeVille sounds like.
And they're not
everywhere in the world. And they're going to show up here, and this one's going to be way different. And they're going to be like, like my board is set up for me to plug into this amp and get the exact sound I want. And I was like, yeah, but they're not using the drive channel anyway. So I'm like, it would just be fun that they could play. But I see his point. And that's, I think, Fender's point. That and also, honestly, before the internet, when, really even the last 10 years or less, I mean, people didn't talk to big companies.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have a way to talk to Fender and give them your input on what you thought was cool or not cool. Like, that's probably, I wouldn't even say it's been 10 years. I'd say it's been like 5 or 6 that you could actually, like,
send an email to to Fender.
Well, even if you
talk
sent
to
an
them directly,
email, it'd be one person who sent an email. There's no way to have it be like social media where there's a post. That post gets a shitload of comments and likes, and then you all of a sudden go, oh, there's a collective of people here who think this way. But you couldn't do that.
That's
before.
unprecedented,
Yeah. So now that's wildly different. So, yeah. Robbie, here's a fun one. If you only had $2,500 US, you get one upper mid-tier amp or the Axif X3, assuming you're using it for recording and don't care about amp in the room.
I go amp.
So I get $2,500 for just an amp, not for, I can't get a, that doesn't have to include the guitar or pedals or anything? Oh, I mean, this is really easy for me. I get a D20 with some pedals. Done.
With some pedals, yeah.
I mean, I know that's our product, so,
You're cheating, yeah.
Yeah. Let me see about, if it wasn't our product, and I got $2,500 to spend. It's a tough question. What would you get?
For $2,500? What can I get for amp wise for $2,500?
Using it for recording and don't care about amp in the room. Honestly, it would be a pedal platform of some sort for me. Yeah,
I think for me too.
Pedal platform, because then I can change whatever sound I want. If it's just an amp and I don't need a cabinet, then it would be probably D40. That's
Actually, I was thinking
21.
The 40, yeah.
If it's not from us, I don't know the price points of other people's stuff.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm stuck on the number. It's like, what can I even get for that price?
Yeah, you can get a Friedman, but what Friedman? You're only going to get can you get Dirty Shirley for $2,500? Or are you going to get the Runts and those things, like the 20 watts?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'll tell you what amp I wish I could get. I wish I could get the Broken Crow 30-watt amp that I played at NAMM in 2015 or 2016, Summer NAMM. It's one of the best mid-gain amps I ever played.
Okay.
One of the versions they
Broken Crow is the company or the?
The company was called Broken Crow Amplification.
Okay.
They went under. I know the designer, but he has a real job now and has no desire. And I was like, just build me one.
Yeah.
But they. The
AC30 was also on my list of amps that I was thinking about, actually.
I've played one that I liked.
I used to hate the 30s. I'm kind of falling in love with them again.
For AC30?
Yeah.
Ugh. Too toppy. Way too toppy, even without the top boost. Played one. Stu G's 62, 64, somewhere around there. It was unbelievable. But every other one, and I've played at least 50 of them. Every year at Country Fest, I pull out at least one AC30 and plug into it, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be the one that I'm going to not hate. And no, I hate it.
Yeah, I spent a long time hating them. I'm starting to come around on them though.
I don't know how much the Dr. Z, the Maz 18, no, Z-Rec. How much is the Z-Rec worth, Luke? I was just playing that at Rob Baker's, and that amp was really, really awesome. I also played a Killer divided by 13 in Nashville.
I've only played one Dr. Z.
What's that?
I've only played one Dr. Z amp.
Really?
It's the Jetta, I think. Is that the one? It's like it's one channel, it's just like a volume and a tone knob, basically.
Oh, maybe.
My buddy's got it. It's a sick amp for 2 knobs. It's yeah.
The Z-Rec is really great. Just look on Reverb, dude. You'll find a Z-Rec in like 10 seconds. You are no young Jamie, my friend.
Jamie, pull it up, please.
Jamie, pull it up,
You
please.
want the 30 watt?
Yeah, sure.
Just the head?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that looks like what. Yeah, but does it have you set to Canada? Yeah, it does. Change your location from Canada to U.S.
Boys, I am not Jamie. I'll tell you that for free.
Oh, we know.
Okay.
Oh,
33.
never mind. No. Well, U.S. dollars? Yeah, that's about $2,500 U.S. It's getting close, right? 33 Canadian. Have I tried the PRS Tremonti 100-watt head? Absolutely.
How is it?
I like it. I mean, it sounds like Mark, right? Like it's a cross between a rectifier and like an Uberschall.
Okay, yeah.
For the high gain. The Dumble channel, I know it's caught a lot of flack from YouTube gear guys that the second channel, like they don't get it and that the EQ doesn't work very well. I haven't played any of the ones that are in stores for more than, like I played one in the Netherlands for like 5 minutes because they wanted me to shoot a video at this shop, and I thought it would be funny to make it look like I was playing Mark's amp, and then we were like moved it out of the way and put the generator 120 up. So, but yeah, I really like how the Dumble channel on it sounds and feels.
Okay.
But I didn't mess around with the EQ. Like honestly, the ones that I've played the most are at Mark's house.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if his are different. Like they shouldn't be, but I can't say if they're different or not. But yeah, cool amp. Price point is, $1,850 for a high gain.
100 watts, yeah.
Yeah, but
It's not bad.
people are kind of, on the fence about it because it's built in Indonesia, and like, why is it that expensive if it's built there? But I mean, I don't know what the parts are. I don't know what the transformers are.
Yeah, I can't
Amps
speak to
aren't
that,
cheap
yeah.
to build, so I know that.
Yeah.
I know that if we built the generator 120 overseas, it wouldn't be less than $2,000.
Yeah.
Like, it's still going to be expensive. So, yeah. We're getting close to running out of time.
I just saw what time it was, yeah. Holy.
Yeah. Well, we just talked the whole time.
Sam's yawning somewhere.
So this is the Vemoram Jan Ray. So we're going to go through a couple of these pedals. We won't get through most of them.
Yeah, let's move quick here.
But I've been wanting this pedal for a while, and it's pretty expensive. So
Yeah.
I've been just kind of sitting and waiting till I saw one come up used.
That's kind of all I know about the Jan Ray is that they're expensive.
Because I think they're around, I think it's $375 US new. So found a used one at Eastside Music Supply, which is a kick-ass pedal shop in Nashville. Actually, there's a couple of really good pedal shops in Nashville. GuitarEffectsPedals.com and Eastside are pretty rad. Like here's my amp tone. So like a little bit awesome.
Yeah, a little bit awesome.
A little bit awesome. And then, I mean, this is the, trick of what I want to do with my pedal board as I get going, which is stacking, right? So,
Yeah.
like, take that and then... You want to try this thing?
I do, yeah.
So it's... I have no idea what the controls are, and it's not labeled. So let's see here.
Volume.
So there's volume.
Gain. Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like gain.
Bass. Low end.
Yep. And treble. Yep. Yeah. Sounds really great. I don't know if it's a glorified blues driver. I'm really terrible at like knowing what things are. I
I'm
just
the same way.
know
Yeah.
when something sounds great. And actually, funny enough, I don't think I own a blues driver pedal. Now that, yeah. I bought these other Boss pedals because they had them for killer deals at a couple of the places I was at.
ST1's a classic.
Yeah, Robbie Baker, there he is. Yeah, the Nordvang. I don't have it right now. I lent it to Mark. Nordvang 83 drive.
That's the one?
That pedal, so good.
Okay.
So good.
So a lot of people categorize the Vemoram with the like Timmy or the Lightspeed. Like
Okay.
the Greer.
Yep.
Lightspeed.
I know what a
just
Lightspeed
like
is.
I have a Lightspeed.
Just saying, bud. Just like super transparent, I guess.
It
Oh,
sounds to
it's
me
a
like
Timmy clone.
What's that?
It's a Timmy clone.
Is it? Oh, okay.
That's what it says here.
Do you want to get the Timmy?
Yeah.
Go get the Timothy.
The Timothy.
The Jimothy? Yeah. What is up, Mr. Baker? I had the best of times cruising guitar stores and hanging out with Robert most of last week. Just trying to get into trouble. We actually found a Timmy at a shop for $90, a V2 Timmy that's like a $300 or $400 pedal that Rob had never played a Timmy. So, yeah, okay, like, let's talk. Real
Let's talk.
talk, like, bullshit that thing is, like... Like, the Timmy's fine, right? Have I tried the Robert Baker Any Vibe pedal? What's that? Which Robert Baker? Are you talking about the Robert Baker from the Tragically Hip? Yeah, Rob and I had a pretty good 5 days of messing around. Do you have Luke, do we have another small patch, like a pedal patch? Because I'd like to put these two together and like, you know what I mean? And do some direct comparisons between them. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. Rob did his best to try to convince me to move to Nashville. He failed miserably at that. It is my, yeah.
I'll move to Nashville.
You'll move to Nashville?
Yeah.
Oh, if I move the shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Dan's gonna move though, so we're probably gonna have, it's probably gonna be a hard sell. All right, so set fairly similarly. Let's go. Let's see. Timmy. Jan Ray. Timmy. Again, like, if we can trust the pots. I mean, the clarity on the Jan Ray,
It's
like,
way,
just
yeah.
destroys the
It's
Timmy.
huge, yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, did I try the Vibe? I actually didn't play it. I heard Rob playing it, but I didn't play it. It was cool, though. He bought this thing called, like, it's an S. Ross Effects, I think.
Okay. Not
Or we
familiar.
started saying it was like Sir Ross. Whoa, BB, you said Timmy for sure over the Jan Ray? Are you? Timmy? Jan Ray.
The cut versus normal pots, what does that mean exactly?
What
Changes
is
the
it?
tone, bud.
I have another Timmy here, but it needs a little bit of love. It's on Manny's bench. And mine and Robert's sound different. And this one is more aggressive than Robert's.
Yeah.
Because this is a V3 or V4, I can't remember. but Rob's is a V2.
Okay.
And you can tell a major difference between the circuits, but Rob's has a little bit more clarity. This has more saturation, but this...
Yeah, that's got the clarity though, yeah.
Yeah, this thing is awesome. You want to try it?
I just want to try these out.
That's right, you did.
Oh, do I have the cable for this?
Oh yeah, do we have enough? Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, oh we got so much.
Oh yeah,
oh
yeah. Oh
fucking
yeah.
laughing,
All
dude.
good. Okay, so here's Timmy. Ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a good point. Hold on. You got to do this. It's... The MRM's still better.
Yeah. 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 Jan Ray is my way.
Like the Timmy doesn't sound bad.
No, I'm happy with the Timmy too, but stacked next to it, the Venuram is like.
It feels so much better. Like, yeah.
Again, just way more clear. Yeah, dude, I love that.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch fiddles. Switch fiddles. Sounds like a Telly though.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I think I like the Timmy better with the Schecter. Yeah.
Well, it's just quieter. Right? Just pulls some of the gain back.
You got both on there.
Oh yeah, it's even better. That's pretty awesome. You like that more, hey? Yeah. Timmy kind of sucks on the Telly. You know, I actually think the Vemuram is like worse on the Telly, but it doesn't. But the Timmy doesn't have enough saturation on the Telly. I'd have to turn the gain up. That sounds awesome. I mean, this sounds good too, and it's quieter. But I think.
Yeah, that sounds
beefer.
awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I like them both, but the Jan Rage's got something else. It's got some magic to it.
Let's see. Okay, so what do we need more of? So it needs more low end. do you
Pretty
think?
close. Getting a lot more low end from the January.
What's that?
Getting a lot more low end from the
Still?
January. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you crank the bass, maybe if I go to red channel.
Yeah, I was hearing Blue Aggression.
You said with the chat breaker? They're different. I prefer the chat breaker over the Vemoram. Honestly, there's like almost no drive pedals that I play that when I play the chat breaker that I'm not like, that's it.
The chat breaker.
But I think I like blues breakers more than almost anything, because like, right, like that versus like, let's say the Timmy. You hear that like, it's almost like it's a phasing thing. Okay, you ready? Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, the chat breaker's got something to it. It's got some balls.
Yeah, especially that with the tilt boost, like. That sounds kind of phasey right now, too, though. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, the chat breaker and the tilt boost is my favorite, too. It sounds phasey on my board today, though, but we also have a bunch of weird stuff.
Yeah, we kind of lost the plot here a little bit today, I think.
Yeah, so we didn't even get to all the pedals. I didn't even try that Owen. I'm going to quickly try that, and then we're going to go. I want to try this Owen Berry. The Owen Berry boost.
At some point, I want to try that poly ample thing, too. But we can say it for
that'll be another
that
one.
seems like a lot of getting into.
I also feel like we got to read about what that does.
Yeah.
Try it, because it seems like a lot. What's going on there? Is it not normal power? Owen?
Owen?
Can you give me this box right here?
I could have, but...
Let me just see here.
You're capable.
It says 9-volt DC isolated power supply, so it should work. The SD1 booster with the tumness is also great. Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, it might be working. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Takes it into fuzz territory.
I was going to say, it's almost got this fuzz kind of quality that I like a lot.
quiet too. Like, considering the amount of gain.
I was gonna say, considering how cranked it is right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh.
There you go.
I gotta try this.
Wanna try it? Yeah.
That sounds so sick.
So guys, what of the stuff that we tried out tonight was your favorite? So we checked out the Tumnus Germanium, the Phaser from Ross, the Nero from Cornerstone, the Vemoram, the Timmy, and the green Tangerine machine there. And then, of course, the Owen Berry Boost. Yeah, it's got that edge of like it's just right on the edge of like freaking out.
Almost fuzzy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of spits at you a little bit.
Yeah, like. Yeah.
I love that, man.
It's cool, hey?
Holy.
Yeah, he uses nothing but like NOS parts to build his stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's cool stuff. Owen's a great dude, great guitar player, like really great guitar player.
That much I know. You said he does like pretty limited runs of these pedals too, like?
Yeah, like I think 20 at a time.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'll be keeping my eyes. I want one of these. That's a really sick boost pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way the bottom end kind of like just sags right out when you crank it like that is really cool, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, love it.
All right, let me try one more thing with it.
Absolutely.
Of what I heard you play, and
You're
it
the
made me
boss.
think of something. Let me, if I can figure out how to plug my guitar in.
Robbie loves the Theodore. Yes, thank you, dude.
You got one. It also reminds me of like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that's why I love the chat. We're good. What was that? All right, everybody. Bo, it's been fun.
It's been a blast, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on again.
No problem. Thank you for coming and hanging out and checking out some fun new toys. And
Oh, anytime, man.
yeah.
Literally anytime.
Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. And we'll be back next week as long as nothing else goes haywire. Joey Landreth will be here with us, and we'll be checking out some Novo guitars. He's got a Novo baritone that he's going to bring by.
Of course he does.
And Novo sent us over 2 other models besides the Sayers J to check out. That
I won't be on the stream, but I'll be hanging around.
Hey, David.
Guitars,
Yo, how's it going, dude? Yeah, this is, Casey built this for me. It's got the Goto 510. I should have mentioned that, and David pointed it out. Yeah, this is the only Portlander that he's done that has like a Goto 510 style bridge. And he actually had to make the body thicker than what they normally make for the Portlanders because of the fact that the block was sticking out the back otherwise.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, it's it's killer.
That's a real custom, dude, yeah.
And the neck is awesome. So good to see you, dude. I hope you're doing well. Yeah.
It's the second time, man.
And with that, we're out of here for the night. So, all right, everybody, thanks for coming and hanging out. And we'll see you next week when Joe's here and get some Novos.
Hell yeah, man. Sounds like a fun time.
Cool. Cheers, guys. Yes, make a Floyd Portlander, do it.